So we have game update number 6. This one is going to be interesting because the first bullet point, it piques my interest already. It says hitters will have slightly less foul ball coverage, resulting in more swing and misses. That's interesting because when you read have slightly less foul ball coverage, it could mean one of two things in my opinion. It could either mean that A, they have went ahead and coded outer PCI into having less of an impact whenever you do swing, so whatever your vision is not going to be as impactful as it once was, because vision is your outer PCI, which is what allows you to foul off pitches. Or they could have done this method instead. They could have went ahead and restricted the range your PCI has outside of the strike zone, therefore resulting in more swing and misses. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because I'm pretty sure that they're fed up about hearing in the community that these at-bats are taking forever because you throw 10 changeups in the dirt and 8 out of the 10 changeups will be fouled off regardless of the swing timing your opponent has, and then those 2 changeups that they're either very late or very early on are finally gonna be the ones that they go ahead and actually miss on. Number 2, they fixed a freeze that could occur on foul tips that bounce near the catcher. I have yet to experience that freeze, but there are a ton of other ways that the game freezes that I hope are addressed inside these patch notes. Number 3, users are now limited to pressing R2 to view pitch types once per pitch for up to 3 seconds. So once per pitch, meaning that despite it having sort of a limit like this, all they really did was decrease the amount of time you could hold it for. Now, you are guaranteed, if you're having a 7-pitch at bat, 21 seconds of holding R2 whenever you are facing someone that's purposefully trying to grieve you. To me, the easiest fix to this, which is something that I don't understand how they can't just go ahead and code in because it would be tremendous, is just allowing us to see the pitch types as well as the pitch history in terms of where our opponent has thrown pitches, all along with the strike zone, how it shows, and as soon as the pitcher begins his windup, it goes ahead and makes everything fade away. That would make everything so easy. Wind has been turned off in online rated games. This is in specific regarding to online rated games whenever you are looking for that game mode inside either Exhibition or Diamond Dynasty. I'm not sure if you can even do it through Diamond Dynasty, but if you can, it's talking about that. It's not talking about, let's say for example, you go into custom leagues and you're facing your friend in custom leagues. The window will still be there. Fixed an issue that would cause the can't pitch icon to become stuck on the screen. That I've encountered a ton of times, where the little can't pitch with the cancel on it is going to be there even if the ball is hit into the outfield. It is annoying, but you can just press the pause menu and then most of the times it would leave. But still, that has no excuse for being in the game. On balls hit in the air where runners stop to see if it is landing or getting caught, instead of going back to the previous base, runners will advance 1 base when the ball is clearly not going to be caught by the outfielder. Now, despite on paper that sounding like an amazing change, I promise you that there are going to be times that they advanced and some way somehow, knowing how broken dives are this year, the player is going to dive across the entire field, make the grab, and then you're gonna be like, why in the world did the ball player advance to third base without knowing whether or not it would drop? I promise it's gonna happen. Base running is already atrocious. This is an attempt to fix it, but it'll probably break it. Adjustments made to gesture timing for splitters and sinkers when using pinpoint pitching. Splitters now have a more lenient criteria for perfect pitches, while sinkers now have a less lenient criteria for perfect pitches. So what they're doing right here is saying, hey, we're going to nerf sinkers into oblivion. We don't want anyone using sinkers unless you're using sinkers as they are intended to be used in real life, which is apparently down low in the strike zone, not up high and in to each and every single batter 10 out of 10 times, because for some reason, even if you are sitting on it, you're still going to be late and jammed. They're saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and try to go ahead and nerf it completely. Now, to me, one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest ways you can go ahead and nerf a sinker is if it's anywhere high inside the strike zone, you can just make it as flat as a fastball. If it has outlier, just make it a normal fastball where it would not have outlier but come in at the same speed. That would make people throw it a whole lot less. And then if it's down in the zone, just keep it with its regular movement. In Diamond Dynasty, they fixed an issue which allowed a pitcher to get into a position player slot in the lineup. I have never seen that issue, but if that was the case, then Shohei Ohtani was probably broken to be used in Diamond Dynasty. Mini seasons fixed a bug that would cause the away team to always wear home uniforms. I'm surprised because a lot of people still encounter the mini seasons bug that once they make it to the playoffs, it doesn't allow them to advance, let alone play the game. So I'm actually very surprised that we're in game update number 6 and they have yet to address that. Not only that, but they have also yet to address whether or not we're going to be getting new mini season rewards in terms of diamond players and whatnot. To me, mini seasons is like the ball player of last year, where it was an unfinished game mode that they just brought to the surface just to go ahead and sell their product. I'm just being honest. Co-op improvements made to game stability, fixed an issue that would cause the substitution prompt to display for the incorrect user. Co-op to me is another example of ball player last year, a game mode that they brought into the game this year to go ahead and sell the product. It was unfinished and it still had a lot of bugs and errors. And you might be saying to yourself, well, in order for you to go ahead and have the perfect product, examples of co-op and mini seasons, you would need to go ahead and launch it into the game in order for us users to find the bugs and get the fixes needed. Well, if they went ahead and had beta testing for, let's say, a whole month instead of limited time periods, then I'm pretty sure that we would have been a-okay by the time this got released. Ball player. If a user changes from a two-way to a one-way player, the correct archetype will now be available in the loadout screen. Any missing archetypes prior to this update should now display correctly. Alright, I'm not sure if anyone dealt with that. I know that some people have dealt with issues with ball player regarding, hey, I'm trying to use this ball player that plays the same position, and whenever I take them over to Diamond Dynasty, it's still using ball player A instead of ball player B, and ball player B is the one that I have active. I wish they would address things like that. Like, errors and bugs like that are very important. I still do not believe that ball player is a finished product. I don't believe co-op is a finished product. I don't believe mini seasons is a finished product, if I'm being completely honest. And then last but not least, franchise in March to October got minor improvements made to two-way player logic. So that is all for the game update patch notes. I think it's very interesting that they have yet to address anything in terms of the hitting. I believe that they are not even going to work on the hitting engine until probably MLB The Show 22, or excuse me, 23. I think that just like in 2K, once they launch this game, it's very difficult for them to go ahead and try to recode the hitting, and they can't really work on that until the next game cycle. So 3 months into the game, they have already forgotten about this game, and they start working on the minor fixes that they can go ahead and knock out quickly in order to put out game updates. But 3 months into the game, they're already working on the next big thing, which will be MLB The Show 23, with who knows what new game modes that will still be unfinished, if I'm being honest.